All right, hello and welcome to Swing It and Ding It, an iHeartMedia podcast.
I mean, this is a birdie fest.
It's a Philly show, baby.
Let's
go.
All right, welcome into Swing It and Ding It. This is Moose along with Mays and Matthews, and we are sponsored by BetParx. More from BetParx when we see the line a little bit later on for the CJ Cup. Byron Nelson always sits in kind of a strange spot, but an interesting tournament and a low-scoring tournament, if you will. So it's good to see guys get birdies from time to time. Not that they don't do it already enough, but it's good to see them compete over who's going to get the most amount of birdies in a tournament. We put it out on social media yesterday. We're giving away some incredible passes for the Truist Championship. We partnered with the folks at Truist Championship to help them out with some of the ticket sales. And you guys know you have Rory, you have JT, all the top players coming to the Philly Cricket Club, Wissahickon course, May 8th through 11th. And there are still opportunities to treat yourself with it to an unforgettable experience at the Michelob Ultra Club. And those are the tickets we're giving away. You soak in the action from the finishing holes, all while enjoying all-inclusive beer, wine, seltzer, and soda. It's just in a great spot between 17 and 18. And if you head to our Instagram, just check the last post. There's a way to register to win there. We're giving away tickets all week on Fox Sports The Gambler. And also, if you head to Q102's contest page, that link is in our bio. There's an extra chance to win there. So we're giving away Saturday tickets. I think Fox Sports The Gambler is giving away a different day. But, really looking forward to it. We'll be out there Friday. We'll also be out there Wednesday for the Creator Classic. So really looking forward to spending some time out in Philly cricket.
Now, what do
I
they
can't
have
wait to come
do?
up there. I'm so excited.
They have to, like,
on
tag
Instagram, you just
people
have to make sure you're following us and tag the person you're going to bring. You know,
Right.
like the story, the typical Instagram
It's
stuff.
pinned right at the top of our profile. So if you go onto our Instagram, you can just go there, look at the top, and you'll be able to see how to enter and for a chance to win.
I saw
And
one
can
guy
I
on there.
enter? I can skip out, halfway through the broadcast and hit up that Michelob Ultra tent.
We'll have some
saw-
passes for that.
I saw one guy that's won a couple of our previous fantasy golf events. Mike Ranney is on there, like tagging himself. He doesn't tag another person; he tags himself. Total violation.
Sometimes there's, a little bit of a mix up with people with
Yeah.
social media and understanding the exact rule.
Yeah, and then he texted me. I said, "Beat it."
He just wants to go alone. I don't blame him.
Yeah. He's like, I don't need to bring anybody,
No.
more beer for me.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
He actually may be the only one doing it right.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, yeah, we're trying to figure out that there are still tickets available for the Creator Classic too. Really inexpensive to get out on the grounds and see some of the players out there that are taking part. Josh Richards, who, if any of the Barstool fans out there know Josh, obviously Paige is going to be out there. I think I have a feeling Paige might sell a ticket or two.
You think so? Yeah.
Call me crazy.
Yeah.
Hole in
She
one
was
trick
actually-
shots. Local guy, Atlantic City Country Club.
Okay, I didn't recognize his name. So, and then you sent me the text about him. We need to get him on the show at some point.
Yeah, Josh Kelly's his real name.
Okay.
But, hole in one trick shots. He plays out of AC. Great guy, great player. Claire Hogle also out there. So yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun
Yeah, I'm
just to
looking at the
see.
lineup now.
I saw the video
yeah.
the trick shot guy did, like sort of like
great,
a Rocky
right?
thing, like a Rocky theme. It was really good.
Really well done.
Yeah,
Wasn't it?
yeah.
He put some time into that.
Creators
Yeah.
Classic. That's
I mean-
these guys know how to make the content. They're
Yeah.
like, Philly,
Yeah.
let's do the whole embrace the Philly thing.
Yeah, I mean, he went to like multiple locations. It was really well done. I got to applaud that guy.
It was. Yeah, so really looking forward to it. Next week's going to be great in the city of Philadelphia. Make sure you head to Truist Championship, their website, information on parking. It's a little bit hectic getting in and out of there, so just make sure you're paying attention to what's going on and follow along with
Rideshare
us all week.
encouraged.
Yep, and then we'll share our location on Friday for everyone that's out there, and Wednesday, so you can come by and say hi. But we'll have a nice setup out there, so you'll see us. You won't be able to miss us, that's for sure. So
I would love if we had a heckler, Harry.
Oh, I think we're going to. At least I've been told.
Oh, a Philly
told.
crowd, alcohol.
Oh yeah, I think
heckling.
there's
Bring it
going to
on.
be some heckling.
we can handle it. We can handle it. There wasn't much heckling at the Zurich Classic, though.
No.
I'll tell you that much. There was a lot of love for Rory and Shane.
Yeah.
Rory's quote was actually pretty good. They were like, "We're surprised you played this." He was like, "This is a perfect way to play after winning an event like the Masters. What better event than to play with your buddy, like in a team event, just to kind of get back into it." So, but the story is Andrew Novak and Ben Griffin, NEPA Invitational alum.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Both
yeah.
get their first PGA Tour wins. How special is that? Right. Because these guys are tight. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You get your first win together. Right. You always have that. You can share that memory. And Novak has been hot. Right. There's been nobody hotter than him.
He's been trending, as they say.
Totally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it's funny because Ben Griffin hits that 35-foot putt on 17 that basically seals it for them.
Yeah.
So
Tiger-esque fist bump.
One stroke win too, right? It got very tight. They started out 3-stroke to start the day, and then it tightened up with Jake Knapp's team. But yeah, I mean, incredible win for those guys. Happy for both of them, especially with Novak with the playoff loss and all that. So really cool to see.
Yeah. And they've been all over. I've seen the interviews with everything, just talking about it. And the one interview that I liked is they were talking about how important this was for their career. Of course, it's split FedEx Cup points. They have to share it, but just securing, status, a job on the PGA Tour longer, possibly
into 2027.
Yeah. And then possibly getting that pension, everything else. Like people don't realize. Deal. Yeah. It's a very big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal. And it was great to see, as you guys said. I mean, Griffin had a great year last year. He was trending last season, but not so much this year. And he played like 13 straight weeks and finally took a couple of weeks off and came back. And it showed. Like he looked like he had his game back. Although Novak was carrying him the first day or two, Griffin really showed up on the weekend, especially like you mentioned with the putt on the alternate shot. I tell you, that alternate shot on the final day, man, anything can happen. Like guys can make bogeys, bad things can happen, and they were able to hold on, and it's really, really cool to see. I knew Novak was going to knock one of these down at some point, and now he did it in a team event, and really happy for both of those guys, the NEPA alums.
Yes. And we talked about this last year when we were going over the Zurich, but that alternate shot too, which a lot of people may not realize, like there's so much strategy that goes into it. It's like, okay, I'm Strixon, Harry, you're Titleist. Like which one has more spin? Who's hitting the first shot? Which one's like going to hit that second shot in? How are we putting? Like which ball should we choose? Like, who's going to tee off first? Cause then you have to it's alternate shot. Like it's a lot of strategy. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't know how much of you guys watched. Did you watch a lot of the broadcast on Sunday?
Not a ton.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch a ton either.
Wow.
I was really hungover this weekend. Birthday. We went out and too much drinks. I was struggling.
How about this, though? They said not only did Ben Griffin just win with a MaxFly golf ball for the first time in ages, but word from MaxFly is that he and Andrew Novak decided to play Ben's MaxFly Tour X completely in foursomes.
Yep.
How about that for MaxFly, man?
They haven't been relevant since
their marketing team is like, let's go.
Get on it, Powers. Get on it, Powers.
Yeah.
MaxFly.
Yeah, I got to credit Jack Hirsch on that because he's the one who turned me on to MaxFly's new ball and the reintroduction of their golf ball, and he really raved about it too. So now they're going to get major publicity out of it.
Can we get MaxFly on Buy My Balls?
Yeah, I'm sure you can.
There we go. Back up, fans.
Lexi Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Foley is endorsing. So pretty interesting.
Lexi Thompson. I thought she retired.
I guess she gets to
she's
play
out
golf.
here every week.
She made the
cut. She made the cut at the Chevron in the major and was like, played pretty well.
It's called the golf sickness, and it's just like that chance to be like, let me just get back out there. But I have to circle back here and tell you guys one of my favorite things from the Zurich. Outside of, obviously great seeing Ben and Andrew win, but seeing Jeff Hamley, his caddy, Andrew Novak's caddy, his dad had passed away last year. And Andrew was like, hey, Jeff, take off all the time you need. Like, I'll get somebody to fill in. Like, don't worry about it. So this was his first time back since last year. And, once they won, he was like, I just feel like my dad was here with me and it was just so special. He was so emotional. So I thought it was really special. But the cool part and just kind of showing like what a great guy Andrew Novak is, he did a pretty cool gesture. He surprised Hamley in the caddy dining area with free blizzards and dilly bars in memory of his father. So I thought that was like a really cute, special moment for the two of them, just like showing the appreciation and she, kind of honoring his father, if you will. I thought that was super cute.
Very cool.
Pretty cool. Both Carolina guys, from the North Carolina, South Carolina area, and they both were in Sea Island, play a lot of golf together. Now I understand Griffin is moving down towards your area.
He's already here. Yeah.
He's already there? Okay. So, he's relocated. So
Sea Island's still trying to claim him, but he got the juke bug.
Okay.
How about them Hoy guards, huh?
Yeah.
They were threatening. They played well.
And I'm tired of this lazy narrative of the broadcasters not being able to know which one is which. Are you serious? Like, we haven't seen enough of these guys. We can't tell that Rasmus has longer hair. Come on. So lazy.
Harry does not think it's funny.
The broadcast was horrible. The television broadcast.
I didn't.
It was like a funeral. There was no. You talk about low T. That broadcast has zero energy, zero zip.
We're in New Orleans, for the love of God.
It was awful. Now, first of all, Nance wasn't a part of it, but he doesn't really even say anything anymore. Anyway, he doesn't really do much. But Andrew Catalan was the Jim Nance guy. And, he does a fine job, but he's not an energy guy. There is those analysts, that whole broadcast, I've been complaining about them for years. They need to fire everybody on that broadcast.
Get out.
Yes.
Get out.
You're done.
Totally out.
Wow.
And especially in an event like that where it should be fun, like Rory saying, like, hey, with my buddy, this is easy. This is fun. It's kind of low pressure. I don't think every person in the field feels like Rory, but at least on the broadcast, I'm like, make it zhuzh it up a little.
Exactly. It is. Yeah. And Rory did really look relaxed. That's one thing that stood out to me. I mean, they didn't win, obviously, but he looked like he was legitimately having fun and walking around like a giant weight had been lifted off of his back. I mean, it's really obvious.
Yeah. Well, there's some people, too, that when I talked about, the Zurich with some of the people in the field, they're like, yeah, it's cool. You get to be with your buddies, more chill and relaxed. But there's other people that are like, wait, I'm playing with one of my friends and I'm trying to help support him. And there's more pressure for me to perform really well. And like, I want to play better because I don't want to let that person down. Like, you're now accountable for yourself and somebody else. So
I could see how an event like that can even propel a guy like Novak even more, because you see it, right? Like when you're playing alone and you miss a shot, you get really down on yourself. When your playing partner misses that same shot, you're up. You're like, come on, we got this, right? Almost like it teaches you how to be a little easier on yourself, I think, in hard situations.
Yeah.
And I think they all can use that from time to time out there, because it's
a great viewpoint. Yeah.
Never say you're sorry is what they all say. To your partner, like you should never be in that moment. Like if you're going to hit bad shots, and there's no need to apologize to the teammate. He's supposed to have your back and pick you up.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. When you're out there alone, though, you just internalize it, right, and just beat yourself up for a couple holes.
I invent curse words to call myself.
I have some good ones, but we're not going to share them. I know I'm not allowed to cuss.
You're practicing. Yeah, you're practicing for our live Fox Sports The Gambler broadcast next week. Right. That's right. If you can listen to us live too next week from the Truist on Fox Sports The Gambler from 2 to 5 p.m. on Friday. So you don't have to wait for the podcast. You could listen to us live. So that'll be fun. Yeah.
Not a 5-second delay for the
there's no mute.
The funny thing is I don't cuss at all, but I was in studio with you guys once and I think I did a double.
Sometimes it brings it out of people. Well, let's spill some tea. Let's see if we can not curse during the tea too. We'll see.
Yeah, let's start light. Lydia Ko, she's released a YouTube series. There's, we have the Creator Classic coming up. We kind of have been talking about all of this YouTube golf and all these creators, everything else. Well, Lydia Ko is doing a full series on fighting back and just talking about kind of some of her mental struggles, but then also literally fighting back and kind of some of the resurgence of her game before as she enters retirement. I know Harry's a little bit more in tune with the LPGA status than I am, so he may be able to add some color to that. But that is available.
She recently locked in the
YouTube.
Hall of Fame. She recently locked in the Hall of Fame, getting those points to get in, and has won since then. I mean, she's on fire. I mean, she might want to retire, but it's not because of her game. I mean, she's still one of the top players out there.
Yeah, she probably just needs more time. Wonder if it'll be a true retirement or a Lexi retirement.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, sometimes you lose these female golfers because they want to go and be a mom and have families, and that kind of gets in the way, and they leave in the prime of their career. Lorena Ochoa is one of the names that comes to mind from back in the day, who was at the top of her game and chose to retire because she, chose to be a mom and have a family.
Yeah. I mean, it's really tough to travel with a child. I know one of my friends, J. Marie Green, she has like a 1.5-year-old and she's trying to figure out how can I get back. And it's like, okay, I'm still trying to take care of my child, practice, and then get on the road and travel with a child. And it's like, when you're their caretaker, it's definitely going to be tough. A struggle. Yeah, for sure. Pardon me. President's Cup captain. So Brandt Snedeker and Jeff Ogilvy looking to rewrite Medina memories as the new appointed President Cup captains. Thought on this?
Yeah, Sneds needs to grow back the mullet. Enough with the short hair for Sneds. He needs to bring it back for
That's
the
true USA
Cup.
hair. That's
the Ryder Cup went out on a limb and tried something different. President's Cup, right back to the old formula, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I would like to see the mullet though. That's true USA fashion.
He doesn't look the same with short hair. I don't know. It makes him look older. But our pal Joey Chitwood, the third, is running that President's Cup. So we need to get back in touch with him in the next couple of months and to see about getting some people on.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
We lightly talked about caddies last week, but Colin Morikawa split with his longtime caddy, and then he hired Joe Griner to carry his bag. And then we saw that. Yeah, we saw that Griner was he used to be with Max Homa, and then I think Moose, you talked about a couple of weeks ago, he filled in for JT at the Masters and RBC, and now he's on Colin's bag. So see how that works out.
I was shocked. I thought JT was going to make a move and lock him up.
Yeah,
right.
Why wouldn't you?
I thought the same thing, especially with that success. I'm like, wait. So he works out.
He has the Reverend is back on his bag, right? I guess that's who he had beforehand. But yeah, very interesting.
I don't understand.
Imagine the thoughts of your job security when you're like, sugar, this person's filling in for me this week, and he, is winning, and then. Yeah,
well, I mean, I know Griner was reading a lot of putts for JT, and they went in on that win. So that's what Colin Morikawa needs. He needs to make more putts. So maybe this might be the formula for him.
For sure. But talking about caddies, Padraig, he talked about kind of caddies having an addiction or a gambling addiction, if you will. And he's like, just for them to be like each week being like, oh, there's a chance I win money, or you just get your flat fee that week. But he just said like kind of how it's like this sickness where you just are so sucked in and you enjoy being part of the big show. And he talked about how like, all of his success was definitely, like caddy had a part of it, but he just kind of was shedding some light into the caddy life, which I thought was kind of cool because that's not something that we always talk about. But with all this other caddy news, I figured
I could listen to him talk about anything. I love hearing Padraig.
Oh, yeah.
I love watching his instruction videos. Like one little thing will be like 27 minutes long, and I'm there for the whole thing.
You're like, yeah.
I'm in. Yeah, I'm in.
Joaquin Niemann qualified for the U.S. Open through the top 3 live exemption. So we'll see him in June.
Wacko
Joaquin Niemann.
Wacko is how they refer to him on the broadcast. I think it's pretty funny.
It is kind of funny.
It's his third
I wish you
win.
guys could see what's going on right in front of me right now while I'm doing the show. There's a full-blown dance breakdown party outside of Power 99 Studios.
Is that right?
Yeah, there's a lot going on out here.
Wow.
That's crazy. I actually kind of want to say now, like, let's
Mexico.
flip that around.
Yeah, flip it around.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Let's see what we're working with. Yeah. Another update here, a little bit additional tea. Blades Brown, we talked about him before. He turned down a PGA Tour exemption on the Corn Ferry Tour. So we saw him a few weeks ago shoot. I think he shot like a 61, and he's the lowest score by a player under the age of 18 in a Corn Ferry event. And obviously we know exemptions are hard to come by, but he said, he just wanted to pass it up. He just didn't feel ready or whatever the situation was, but he denied the exemption. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then we can yawn at this, we can get into it, we can do whatever, but Live Golf is in discussions again with official world golf ranking. So we'll see how that goes. I'm kind of on the side of saying, just tell us when there's a decision made. Don't just be like, we're talking about it again. I want to know. I just want to know when it's done.
Yeah, Scott O'Neill met with Trevor Immelman, I believe, for a long time to try to figure something out.
Yeah, for the world ranking points and so forth.
Yep.
But Liv hasn't adjusted, hasn't changed anything since they tried the last time. So I don't know.
They said they're willing to. That's what the last talks were, that they're willing to make some adjustments in order to. They have to. Their guys are going to.
Yeah. They'd have to do that at the start of the calendar season or whatever.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. Like, I don't even know when their season runs from. But staying on the topic of Liv, Harry, you shared a DM with us that was hilarious of Bryson. Why don't you get into that a little bit?
Yeah, he was down in Mexico. They had to Live Mexico last week. And apparently he was very frustrated with the sand at the golf course. And there's video of him just hitting bunker shot. It looked like me at my club, because I'm very frustrated with the difference in the sand, and I have trouble getting out of the sand many times. And he's just hitting it, and the ball is just staying in the bunker. He said, "Worst bunkers ever." It was so great just to see somebody else go through what I go through.
One of us.
I love him. Everything he does makes me love him more. Bryson DeChambeau.
You just hear thud, and then the ball will just go like 3 feet.
It literally.
Yeah.
And the frustration, I just watched it when, at the beginning of the show, I was cracking up because literally it's relatable. And it's like, okay, they are one of us.
And he's so good and has so much control that part of it he probably was doing on purpose.
Maybe.
To prove a point. Like, I'm going to make this not get out. Like, because he's that good, but he wanted to prove that he didn't love the setup.
These bunkers are terrible. Yeah. and again, with that live format being like,
well, he was in the mix all week. They had a great leaderboard, by the way. I mean, 5 or 6 of their top players, the ones that we care about, were all at the top of the leaderboard, except Koepka. He was the only guy that wasn't playing very well. I mean, DJ made an appearance in there, Hatton, DeChambeau, Neiman. I mean, everybody that is anybody on that tour now. Rahm was up there too, and getting very frustrated, which we love to see. He's hitting a tee shot, and it goes, how'd that go right? He's just so annoyed with everything.
So wait, I just looked this up as we were talking, because I said Joaquin, got his exemption, but the U.S. Open has established an exemption system where the top player from the top 3 on the live individual standings as of May 19th, not already exempt. So in 2026, this expands to 2 spots, but this year it's just Joaquin.
Right.
So and then already exempt
DeChambeau will be in there.
And Brooksy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. For their past majors. Yeah.
Who else would we have in there? Rahm?
He'd still be exempt.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
2 spots next year, not bad. Yeah. Well, that's it for the tee.
Okay. All right. I'm shooting some video I could send to you guys. It's hilarious.
Oh yeah. See them stomp the yard across the way.
Well, speaking of stuff that we can identify with, I don't know if you caught any of the Chevron Championship, the first major of the year on the LPGA Tour on Sunday, but it ended up in a 5-player playoff, which was pretty good. There was no drama until the very end when Arya Jutanagarn is on the 18th hole. She's just off the green. It's a par 5, drivable in 2 for most of the players, and she's beyond the green in the rough. They had a grandstand that came very close, and some of the players were hitting the ball intentionally, basically into the grandstand, knowing they'd get a drop.
Wow.
Knowing they'd get a drop, and she's in the rough and takes the club back and just duffs it. The ball moved about a foot. It stayed in the rough. She would have won the tournament if she just puts it on the green and makes the putt. She'd have won, and duffed it and brought in all these other players and ended up in a 5-way playoff. And Ronnie Yin hits this unbelievable approach shot with a fairway metal to about 15 feet. She's there in 2. And ends up making par and doesn't win. The win went to Mai Saigo, who made birdie on the hole from about 6 or 8 feet away. It's her first win. She's a rookie. It was really pretty good. But that duff shit was unbelievable. Yes, it went 1 playoff hole, which was 18 again, and Saigo ended up winning with a birdie. Like everybody else is making pars or bogeys. It was pretty. It was like a pillow fight, but it ended up being pretty good. And the duff chip was amazing. Like to see the video.
Imagine being on in 2 and then like 2 putting to.
She 3-putted for a par.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, for par.
Yeah, she 3-putted for par. Yeah. So
wow,
it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? Having that experience for next time that she's in that situation, to hopefully be able to.
Yeah. Channel.
No doubt.
Something.
So I think was good for Ben too, like having that long, at Zurich, having that really long putt and whatever, because he's been in a couple really close situations where I think those nerves, but now being in that situation a few times and knowing he can do it, it's like,
right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
No doubt. Well, listen, we've talked about golf balls a little bit on the show. And remember, tee off with top tier golf balls without the top tier price. BuyMyBalls.com. Top quality recycled premium brands for a fraction of the price. Go to BuyMyBalls.com. That's balls with a Z. Just played some Buy My Balls last weekend. I'll be playing some more this weekend. Super easy. Go on, pick what you want. Come to you in a nice golf ball box, and you're off and running without hurting your wallet too much. 'Tis the season to use Buy My Balls. BuyMyBalls.com with a Z. Check them out. All right, we head to the CJ Cup, Byron Nelson, where you have to lay some money if you want Scotty Scheffler. We talked about it. This is a go low type of place. Let's start with the course, of course, presented by the Penn Club on second by the great Harry Mays, TPC Craig Ranch.
Yeah, Craig Ranch, par 71, pretty long, 7,569 yards. And it's a Tom Weiskopf design back in 2004. And it's got all the typical characteristics of a Weiskopf design. 4 par 3s, 3 par 5s makes it a par 71. And there's only 1 par 5 on the second 9, and that's the last hole, the 18th hole. There's always a drivable par 4 on a Weiskopf design, and this one happens in the closing stretch. On number 14, the average green size, pretty big, 6,778 square feet. They're bent grass greens. They'll be stimping at about 11 and a half. The fairways are zoysia, Moose, so you love the zoysia. It's going to sit right up there like it's on a mat. And the rough is Bermuda rough. There's 4 water hazards, but it's in play on 13 holes thanks to Rowlett Creek, which meanders through the entire property. The closing holes, I start with the short par 4 14th, the par 3 15th, a long one at 216 yards. Then there's a long par 4 16th at almost 500 yards. Then a short par 3 17th, it's only 147. Guys will be hitting wedge most likely into that one. And then the reachable par 5 18th at 552 yards, where birdie is a must and an eagle would be better. So that will make for some dramatic finishes. And like you said, Moose, they're going to be up around 27, 28 under probably to win this tournament. At a minimum. You got to go low, and you got to go low early. Like, you got to get off to a fast start at this tournament.
They do have some impeding weather. I don't know if it'll be out of the way by Thursday, or tomorrow, but I know.
I fell in love with zoysia.
Yeah.
How was that? I mean, we didn't really talk about that much. What was that like for you, hitting off the zoysia?
Well, when I was in the fairway, it was it was nice. But it took me about 8 holes to figure out how to hit my driver again. I'm lost right now, Harry. I was going into this golf season feeling great. When I tee it up on Friday, I don't know if I hit a cut or a draw. I don't know how to hit my driver to save my life. So confidence levels are pretty high. I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, if you were my partner going into the tournament, you would be thrilled right now.
Well, do you have the mini driver yet?
No.
Okay.
But I do need to consider that, because the regular driver, what did Baldy say? The dishwasher confuses me.
The dishwasher confuses me.
The driver confuses me. Right?
I think I'm not an instructor, obviously, and I stink. But I know you, and I know the way you swing. You've got a big swing. If I were you, I would really work on hitting a cut shot off the tee and just. That's what I
was trying to do.
And
I
think
that would be yes, exactly. Open up that stance and commit to a cut.
Swing hard. Overcutting it. I've also realized that
it's way too hard.
But what I realized, even what Lewis told me was, he's like, "You're trying to slow your swing down. I could see you." I said, "I am." He goes, "You don't ever do that. People die to have your speed.
Yeah.
Just figure out how to work with your speed." And I literally started almost popping my left foot out, and that's when I was starting to hit the ball straight and far,
right?
Because I was almost holding myself back. Once I started almost popping my foot,
you're able to square it up.
Boom. Yeah.
So you're turning your left foot out.
Energy.
Yeah, he's opening up.
Literally pop like a baseball.
Up. Yeah.
Oh.
Because if not, I'm trapping myself back.
It's that hockey in you.
It is. Yep. It is. It's a nightmare out there. But one of these years, we're going to figure it out, and it's going to be glorious.
It
is
that
much. It's going to be tremendous.
I hope I'm there for it.
What's glorious?
Maybe you need to go cross-hand or something.
That'd be interesting with the driver. Imagine that. Our friends at BetParx are glorious. You could do it all right there. Everything you needed to do. So let's talk about See the Line. But first, Harry Mays will talk about BetParx. All right. So when we see the line here for this one, again, this is a tough one. You got Scotty at plus 280, and then it drops down to Jordan Spieth at plus 1800. You have Pendrith defending here. Yep. Jason Day has a win here. Some of the other guys top of the board: Sunjay, Ben-On, Pendrith, Siwoo, who's played well here, Sam Burns, Ben Griffith, 3,500. Boom, he's right up at the top of the leaderboard after that win. I do like Spieth. I could see him winning this. I know it's a short number at 1,800. I'm going to take him in one and done. If I still have him left, I have to check. I think I do. But the one bet I do like is and I forget about this a lot. It drove me crazy when I didn't take Rose in the Masters. First round leader. Charlie Hoffman. He's got a 65 66 here in past opening rounds. So
he's a good first round guy.
On him first round. And I like Sunjay. Again, I'm sticking top of the board here. I know it's not the best number, but the fact that he's played well here and he's a little bit thinned out these days, and I don't know, I can see him hoisting the trophy this weekend.
All right, it's definitely a second shot golf course. So guys that aren't that accurate with the driver, it's not going to penalize them this week. Length, if they can hit it far, it doesn't have to be straight. But if they're really good with their approach game, those would be guys I'd look at. I'm going to be targeting Sami Välimäki in a top 20. You talk about a guy who's playing irons this year on tour. It's this guy. I know he doesn't get a whole lot of publicity, but he's one of those under radar guys. Sort of like our guy Novak right now on the tour.
Yep.
I got him in a top 20 at plus 280. Another guy who I think is good for this golf course is Jake Knapp. I'm taking him in a top 20 at plus 200. I'm going to ride with Ryan Gerard in my one and done, and I'm taking him in a top 10. He's a terrific iron player. His all-around game is really good, and he's another guy I think that's trending right now. Looking for a win at plus 400 in top 10. I'll take him in one and done. His strokes gained approach, strokes gained putting, and strokes gained total are near the top of the board. He's got 2 top 10s this year, and he's made 11 of 12 cuts. Ryan Gerard.
You're on the Jason Bale player train.
Is that right?
It's interesting.
Yeah. That's right. His guys, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You see the disparity from the BetParx leaderboard. You have Spieth, who's second on the board at plus 1,800. But in the one and done, he's in the top 20. He's down below Højgaard and Griffith. I've actually taken him, so I can't take him. But that's interesting to see that.
Yeah, Spieth, Sungjae, Ben-On, and Siwoo are all very popular picks in one and done this week.
Yeah, I just went with with Sunjay since I can't take Spieth.
Yeah, he's solid, man. I mean, if he makes a couple of putts early, he'll be there on Sunday in the mix for sure.
No doubt.
Well, I had a great time on Monday. Your guys are going to be able to see this. It was followed by a video crew. Jack Flanagan from Inside Golf, who produces that fine program, was following me along with Marty Emino from Gap, playing the front 9 at Bluebell on Monday with a couple of guys that I had just met. Great guys. Britton, Steve, and Bob were all buddies of mine by the end of it. We had a terrific time. But the playing on video, awesome. You're going to see some of the greatest golf shots I've ever hit in my life.
Yes.
Particularly on and I make par on the first hole with a tap in, and they weren't there. They joined us on 2, which is a really difficult hole at Bluebell. So I made bogey there, but it was a good bogey. Then on 8, I'm dogleg right. I pipe a drive right out in the middle of the fairway. I've got about 205 in, and I take the 7-wood. And Jack Flanagan's like 15 yards behind me with the camera. I felt like I was on CBS. And I striped this thing to 15 feet. I was the only guy to hit the green, and this was you had a shot tracer on this son of a gun. I'm telling you, I had wood. It was unbelievable.
Where are we seeing this footage?
You're going to see this next Sunday at 10 o'clock on Inside Golf. That's where it will air the first time. Yes.
I can't wait.
We got to share that. So essentially, Harry, you just need a film crew following you at all times.
Exactly. That's what I need. That's where I was going. Yeah.
Call Chad Mum. We need Harry on the next full swing.
Let's go.
in the Philly golf quarter zip, I hear too, right?
Yes, I wore the Philly golf
Reppin'.
quarter zip. The Peter Millar was repping the brand. It's going to look good.
Beautiful.
Yes, I did say I just had wood. You're correct, Powers.
He had wood with his 7 wood.
Yeah,
I might need to look at a 7 wood.
Oh, I love that club.
Yeah, I'm hearing some good things about those things.
And I got the Vessel bag. I got the Vessel bag.
You did? It came in. Okay.
Yes, it came in. I know,
Do we all
Moose, you
three
got
have
yours.
Vessel bags now?
Do you have a Vessel too, Danielle?
I sure do, from me winning at the Old Palm member guest.
Oh, wow. They're terrific.
It's beautiful.
Oh.
I know. And then Brad gave me a Scotty Cameron bag for Christmas. And Brandon's like, oh, you want me to switch your clubs over? I'm like, Brad, don't listen. Hang up. I was like, I low-key like the Old Palm
Vessel
bag better, because it's more girly. But But no,
I got
so
the
now I have 2
Americana
bags.
version, the red, white, and blue. It looks really tight.
Oh,
and
mine's
Moose
like
got this
birds,
swing it and ding
matte
it on the.
green.
Yeah. Oh, yours is green.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like a hunter green, but it's like the matte green. It's pretty. Yours is white, right, Moose?
Mine's white, yeah, with the
Love
swing
it.
and ding it Philly golf logo right on the front. They did a
that's
great
cool.
job.
And what
Yeah.
color is the logo? Is it
It's
in green?
It's that dark green.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. It's beautiful. All right, stay tuned. Next couple days, we'll do the giveaway for the Truist. Beautiful passes to the Michelob Ultra Lounge. And make sure you stop out and see us if you're out there on Wednesday. Still tickets available, both to the Creator Classic and if you want to purchase into that Michelob Ultra Lounge as well. So head to the Truist Championships website and check it out. And we hope to see you guys out there Wednesday and Friday. Look for us. You'll see our setup. We'll be out there. We'll share our location once we know. But see you then.